countryman Milan was supposed to come as well to stand in, couldn't make it, and then they in the last moment they find a stand in here, and he works. Like, he works for them.
Dude, the Singaporeans
would
are
Milan
repping.
have been able to do the same thing? I'm not sure.
He's still
Would
a very
MSS
solid,
have even been able to do the
We're
same
not
thing?
sure. We will never be sure.
Butterfly effect, man. You never know.
That's true. That is true. So let me ask you guys this straight up. Which one of these two teams going into this do you actually favor? Because I'm a little split. I can imagine that you both are a little split as well, but I'm going to put you on the spot anyway.
Yeah, when you look at the past results, when you look at the leagues that have been happening throughout CIS and EU, I would value perhaps Virtus Pro just a little bit higher because of the series that they had versus the greats such as Secret. Versus them, they played really well. A couple of tournaments they took even. So maybe because of that, I value them a little bit more. But then again, where's Europe in top 8?
That's right.
I don't see them.
You're looking at the greats. I'm looking at the greats in North America. I'm saying that they're taking series off Evil Geniuses. I'm saying that they're scoring the same end at the DPC League on the Evil Geniuses. Put them in your fantasy.
I mean, so far the fantasy, there is a one esports fantasy going on right now. Make sure you get your picks in. And the people that have put their picks in, they believe that Virtus Pro has the upper hand there. 73% goes for Virtus Pro over the 27 on Quincy crew. That is heavily favored.
Yeah,
heavily favored for VP.
There's a lot of betting happening in the CIS as well, and overall playing for skins and whatnot.
Do you think maybe a lot of the bets also came in before they played PSG LTD yesterday? That could be something, right? You could. I think you can. No, that wouldn't be a case because then VP hadn't lost yet. So everybody that put their thing in already knew
man.
the VP was going to be the one playing Quincy crew.
DM is going to get some angry DMs if he loses this series, is all I can say, because there's a lot on the line for Eastern Europe. Not only, at least North America has another representative in the upper bracket, but Eastern Europe, it's all riding on VP right now.
I mean, we said the same thing for Thunder Predator just now. They got a massive fan base with a lot of vocal fans, and definitely not jealous to be in their shoes should they lose this upcoming series. Let's take a look at two of the players that, in my eyes, are very instrumental to winning the game for both teams. We got Nightfall and Yowar head-to-head. Lizard, this is the matchup that you want to see.
Yeah, very similar stats. As you can see, kill participation 0.56, 0.69 on one side and the other. Nightfall, he's been the standout player in Europe and CIS, changing his nickname, not changing his brand, really playing the same similar heroes, the Raid Kings and whatnot. Yavar, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure you would agree with me, he's a little bit more on the greedier side, right? Like, he likes to put himself in that triangle a little bit.
Man likes to hit creeps. Yep. God bless him. Even in the series versus LGD, Nightfall was still looking good the entire time. And so that brought me confidence that even though the series didn't look that great, Nightfall is still there. And also, if he had to be a stand-in, I would have had no confidence in VP. I think that they, like you said, it's built around Nightfall. He's the standout for all of Eastern Europe. And thankfully, he's here. Let's see if he mentally shows up for this series, though.
I think that it's something important to mention from the team as well, because mentally showing up, this team is also one of the teams that, as far as we are aware, does not have a coach here on location. On top of that, 4 out of 5 players are under 20 years old, only DM 21 in this case. But this is also the youngest captain in the whole tournament playing, the youngest captain that is doing as well as he's doing right now, that we have seen in a long time. Save on the position 4, Lizard. You can make a case for, oh, this is really fresh and this is really awesome and they're really good, or maybe a little bit inexperienced coming in.
Yeah, definitely. Case for both. Like, being fresh, it's good when you're playing these online tournaments because you're chilling in the, I don't know, in your boot camp or at home. Your mom is making you milk and cookies. If you lose, it's fine. Here, however, here it's a little bit of a different story, and it really can affect these younger players. It can affect them when they're on the stage, when they're face to face with the team that they're playing against, and when they're playing for when they're playing a major, really.
Yeah, draft confidence versus international opponents. I was really hoping to see GPK's Kunkka in their previous series. They ended up giving it to me. And then I immediately regretted my decision, and I think Save did too.
But that's really it, isn't it? They picked full comfort zone, even though in this tournament so far, Kunkka has been looking pretty damn bad.
One of the interviews that they did during the DPC season, the question was something along the lines of, what's making you so strong? Why are you so good right now? And the answer coming from Save was, well, we're just playing relaxed Dota. You know, this is very chill. This is very easy. Now, they're on LAN, and all of a sudden, all these opponents are actually quite good at playing Dota. You kind of can't fall back on the, oh yeah, it's relaxed, because when you're playing, like, the goal for this team is TI, right? Very easy. You cannot assume that you will be chill and relaxed on the TI main stage.
Like historically.
You're not even chill.
I'm not even chill and relaxed.
And we're not
I'm
even playing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, historically, Virtus Pro's goals weren't even to reach the TI. It wasn't even to end up top 3. It was to win or to disband. This is a new squad, obviously, coming from Virtus Pro Prodigy, so maybe the goals are a little bit
They gotta
lower.
win a few Benzes first before they start winning TIs.
Yeah, I think also we mentioned again. I mean, I'm gonna mention this a lot. We mentioned this for Thunder Predator as well. It's very good for the scene to see a team like this do very well, because it's been a complaint in the Dota 2 community that all these pros are so old. You know, everybody. It's always the same captains forming a team around them. Always the same players with a couple of young bloods here and there. I mean, if you're looking at Quincy crew, most of them are veterans.
Yep.
All of them are veterans. My Pelosin is actually a veteran as well. He's been around for a long time. But on the side of Virtus Pro, these are fresh kids. I want them to do well, because that's good news for Dota 2, because if you see an 18-year-old win TI, that's when you get inspiration.
Yeah, they're definitely an inspiration for the new masses that are coming, because a certain cartoon was...
I know there's one person right now, he's watching right now, he or she, just watched the anime. Great anime, loved it. Decided to check out this game called Dota 2. It's like, oh, there's a stream live. Oh, hello, we're here live from Singapore. Did you know you can be a billionaire if you just play this game really well? There you go. Top tier sales pitch right here.
Casual 10,000 hours here and there. No big deal.
Yep.
Just have to give up a part of your life.
Not a big
And
one.
it's not a guarantee that you get it.
Right, Lizard?
Right, Lizard? How many hours was it?
How many MMRs? How many leaderboards was it?
2 accounts with 10k plus.
Oh, don't say that. Bad offense.
Back in the day, you could have 2 accounts.
They're the same MMR, more or less.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't count as a Smurf.
It doesn't matter. I don't want the youth. I don't want Eastern Europe to be carrying the torch for the youth. China's already doing a great job with that. They have a bunch of fresh players going on.
True, but they do the boomer-zoomer ratios.
That's fine. Ease into it.
Yes.
They also have academy teams, which is really important.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But hey, VP, this used to be their academy team.
Yep, exactly.
You know who doesn't have academy teams in North America?
You know who definitely doesn't have an academy team? Quincy Crew, because they're not sponsored at all.
Exactly.
Needing a sponsor. I can't believe this team has not been picked up yet. Like, they're
on a
such
major,
a promising team.
I did the interview with Quinn, and I was like, "Give me a sales pitch."
Yeah.
If I'm a
I
team
heard that
sponsor
one.
with deep pockets.
Not a good sales pitch.
It wasn't
from
a
him.
great sales pitch until they do good here. Then it was a great sales pitch, because he said, "Let our performance speak for itself. You know, if we do good here, then this is worthy of us putting a little label. We're gonna do you an honor of putting our name in front of them."
Then quick question: how? Like, I only want one answer, one rank. How good do they need to do? What rank do they need to do to be considered doing good here? Is that if they already reached it?
I say top 6.
Yeah, top 6 is pretty solid. They've already reached it, in my opinion, but...
But they have not reached top 6 yet. They're going to have to go through Virtus Pro first, and that is what we're here to see. Virtus Pro versus Quincy Crew. They're going to take the stage.
Welcome on stage, Virtus Pro. Welcome on stage, Quincy Crew.
Quincy Crew and Virtus Pro, both of these teams' most recent performance was against PSG LGD, and it did not end well for either of them. We're going to see which one of the two teams is the better one in a best-of-3. Loser gets eliminated from the Singapore Major. Winner continues on in that lower bracket and secures themselves top 8. Lizard, Quincy Crew, they have had a day rest. They've had time to study the VP PSG LGD series. What do you think they learned from that?
They've been studying their own series versus versus PSG LGD, that is from the earlier days, and now they saw what Virtus Pro is doing. But I have a feeling that you can't take away way too much from that series, because scrolling to CIS forums and whatnot, what Russian analysts are saying is that wasn't the true Virtus Pro. Maybe that's because they lost as well, you know, excuses. But truly, I want to see some more innovation from Virtus Pro, and that's something that they should have prepared for.
I say you may be able to use GPK, the Doom and the Kunkka in that LGD series. That's the kind of stuff that Quinn would be able to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Those you can't just rely on winning the mid lane matchup and being like, okay, GPK is going to carry the game. I think Quinn is more than capable of recovering in a situation like that. And LGD were just outright winning the mid lane matchups with that Magnus and stuff like that.
That's so important because they are the cornerstones, right? Like you have GPK rank 1 in his region, and you have Quinn rank 1 in his. So
yeah, and there's debate obviously in between regions in professional Dota. There is definitely as much debate on which MMR rankings region is the better one. So it's a great matchup to watch. I am hoping that for that matchup we're not going to have too much involvement from the position 4s. Do you think that's going to be the case? Because obviously previous series has proven that you can easily secure your mid lane if you come visit a little bit, like Moose did for Leo Style previously. But Save and Peloson, are they gonna help out their mids?
Their hero pool hasn't really enabled that kind of behavior so much. I think that's you see your Earth Spirit. I think that's actually a good difference between MSS and Peloson. I think MSS is more maneuverable in their NA DPC games than Peloson is. And with Save also, it seemed that he was content letting GPK, or rather GPK was like, don't help me.
Even if you look at Quincy Crew, when they're picking Tusk, not always, but they're putting it on offlane very often. Yeah. And it is levels that goes for Necros and whatnot, sticks in the lane. And then your position 4 is a range type of hero that doesn't necessarily rotate towards mid. So we might see rune controls, but after the last game, you have to learn something. They watched it. Yeah. They watched it. They know you can't just let your mid get dominated by a position 4.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of pride on the line as well. What is the best mid matchup for these two players? I mean, GPK has, traditionally we know the Kunkka, obviously, but he got big on the Lina.
Yeah, Void Spirit and Puck perhaps on Quinn, right? Yeah. And on GPK, Lina is there, SF is there. I don't want to see Storm. I have nightmares of GPK Storm.
I actually looked it up. Like, GPK does not actually have... He has a pretty low win rate on Storm. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But I've seen a lot of other pro players with even lower win rates on Storm.
Sure, but if you consider how many times VP win...
That is true.
Then it's actually pretty abysmal. So please don't pick him Storm. We're going to find out, though. We are in the draft for this first game of the best-of-3 series. We got a Void Spirit ban straight away for Quincy Crew. So Quinn being respected highly there with that Void Spirit. Death Prophet still banned out as well. Yeah. Now, there's been a hero banned out previous series, almost every single series. It's IO and Puck, both in the pool. Both teams played.
Virtus Pro doesn't play it. Like
the IO core, right?
I have not witnessed an IO core from them recently. So
and Quincy Crew neither.
And Quincy Crew as well. So because of that, the bans are a little bit different. But you can see a reoccurring ban pattern versus Quincy Crew. It's Void Spirit and Death Prophet.
Oh, snap.
All right.
Your war's been hitting the books?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope it's not LOA on the IO. Not because I have anything against his IO, just because
you don't like IO support.
We all know my vendetta against IO support in this tournament.
We all hate it. My friend, we all hate it.
Excellent.
And Lion, instantly for me,
it didn't work out yesterday. They play a position 4. it just doesn't feel that good.
They also were pairing it with an Enchantress, though. And so, like, as a support duo, those are great lane bullies, but Enchantress falls off.
Enchantress falls off. However, if it is an IO core, Enchantress might be a good mid-game answer to the Helm of Dominator. So perhaps that's one of the if they pick it even, right? Like, because so far we haven't seen a team answer the IO core
we've been
properly.
theory crafting answers on how to deal with it.
And perhaps Enchantress or Clinks or something that
Doom,
something that takes the creep.
And they pick up the Abaddon, which has been the hero for SVG so far. And that kind of brings me back to something that you said earlier this tournament, Tsunami, that IO core in its principle as a hero itself, we'll talk about that in a second, is not too difficult, but the main trick comes from playing around it as a team.
Yeah, it's the timings are unique. Like getting a Dominator and suddenly coming online, that's not the case for like any other carry. Once upon a time, maybe Lycan, but that's not happening anymore. So having such an early power spike and then just continuing to ramp up the pressure in like a very linear curve, that's unique for a carry. And so mechanically, IO is easy to execute, which is why I hope UR's been hitting the books. But also, I hope Quincy Crew as a team know how to operate around this core.
And so far, when you look at these picks, they make a lot of sense from Quincy Crew. They answer the line with an Abaddon. Also, this hero is extremely good on the safe lane with IO core. If it is a position 1 IO, you have a very good laning partner there already because you like these brawler type melee position 5. So your Tusks, your Abaddons, your Elder Titans. But I believe they only pick Abaddon over Elder Titan and Tusk because of the Lion pick. It makes a lot of sense. However, this Bounty Hunter pickup is something interesting.
Question time. Aphotic Shield coming out from Abaddon. Does that get rid of track?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. So why would you pick Bounty Hunter? Because the only reason, there's 2 reasons to pick a Bounty Hunter. Yeah, you can bully a little bit in the lane, you can be annoying, but mostly later on, if you go battle, you get all those tracks out, and you can get all those extra pennies from your opponents. Every bit of gold helps, of course. But if you're gonna get it shielded off,
it's a little bit of a counter, but not quite a lot. So the Bounty Hunter will still be able to dish out all those tracks, and you're as a Abaddon, you're like, okay, I'm gonna shield you, then I'm gonna shield you, then
it's too much.
It's too much.
Okay, it actually, it helps a lot. The Bounty Hunter can, of course, now track from Invis as well, so he can get a lot more out of it.
At the minimum, I will agree, Shiver, that it does remove a lot of the tracking potential, which is the original purpose of the spell set, just to make money. But if you want to smoke up, a lot of times people are like, we can't smoke yet. I'm tracked right now.
Please wait.
Please wait.
And looking at bans, so far Quincy Crew targeting Yavar in the second stage. It's Quincy Crew targeting Kingsley Nightfall. With the Wraith King.
I mean, they all change names. It's tricky to keep track. I do want to also say that if you track IO, and it gets shielded off, at least instantly you know the Abaddon is right around the corner. So they're together.
Yep.
And that's normally not the case, because normally IO is by himself, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true if he's walking around with the dominated creep.
It's the little things. I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm grasping.
You would also see the shield on the IO probably.
For me, the main takeaway from Virtus Pro is that they're doing something different. Lion, okay, it's not that different, but Bounty Hunter, yeah, it definitely is. Not the most popular hero in the major, not by a stretch.
This is the first Bounty Hunter, I believe.
The first one that I witnessed.
Yeah.
In the DPC SCA, it has been picked quite a few times on every position, like from 5 to 1. So
yeah, they gave it to DM during the DPC, so I'm leaning towards it being 3, but
that would make the most sense as well. That's it feels the best position.
Okay, so what do you need to do to give a Bounty Hunter a decent lane? Because if they give it to DM, he does need a good start, or at least not a bad start. So he needs something for save to help him out in the lane.
If I recall that game, I think they left him alone, actually. Yeah, and somehow he still did quite well.
It's difficult not to do well with Bounty Hunter. You have like 7-8 armor on the beginning. You have Junada to take the creeps.
It is the Huskar game.
It is the Huskar game.
Oh, shoot.
That's when they played the Bounty Hunter.
Hey.
I was thinking, it's like, could it be? Maybe.
And the Huskar with the shard and whatnot, with the IO, no healing regeneration.
Let's not extrapolate too far.
I think that's what he did. I think he was up against an IO that game as well.
He was
it
against
never really
Bristleback that game.
Okay, but
it's similar, right?
Yeah. It was never really getting to that point. That game was the game that we're talking about. Not everybody will have witnessed
a legendary game in the Eastern Europe.
It was a very short legendary game where VP was already guaranteed to go through, and now with the Enchantress, I think the game is no longer the way that we were about to explain. But that was a Huskar position 4 jungle game that ended in like 15 minutes because Save, the position 4 and captain of the squad, went into the jungle minute 0 or minute 1, and he owned the jungle. He did really well, got all the creeps, got Roshan after a second try, and they were able to win the game with that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Dota buff. It says Dire Jungle won.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to lose the creeps. I've seen some players
you
that.
I've
seen
you
it.
say that, but Save lost to Roche, so, put some respect on the NPCs in this game.
There's going to be a lot of players from a different MOBA that are like, oh, so he went jungle. Why is that so special? Doesn't everybody do that?
Yeah, I saw an Alchemist do it earlier today.
Yeah.
You just go straight into the jungle. That's how you play this game, right?
Yep. One big thing so far from Virtus Pro is this Mirana ban out makes Enchantress feel a little bit more comfortable. And throughout the mid game, you will be extremely strong. You have these 3 heroes that all they need pretty much is levels. And in the mid game, they should be able to play on the enemy side of the map to be as aggressive as humanly pretty much possible. So
yeah, but then I'm with you, but it's like a 3-man aggressive operation, whereas the support duo of Enchantress and Lion, I don't feel like they can do a great deal by themselves. DM has to be very, very active.
100%. I'm not even saying 3-man. I'm thinking GPK joining them as well. So
okay.
Okay, very interesting. Morphling pickup from Virtus Pro, a hero that doesn't necessarily care about Tusk way too much.
How many more chances are we going to give the Enchantress on the side of Virtus Pro? It didn't work out yesterday. We did see it work out from Team Secret, and we know that Virtus Pro is one of the main scrimming partners of Team Secret, so there's definitely some influence there.
We haven't seen them play too many games as well, right?
No, it's just those, but it's just the 2 games that they did play. They had the Enchantress and didn't work out.
Yeah, I was very hot on Enchantress after I saw Secret.
Yeah.
But in the one game, it was in a tri-lane, and that definitely made it look a lot better. And in VP's hands, it fell off. That was my main criticism, is that when teamfights start, Enchantress just gets caught in the crossfire and dies and doesn't have anything.
And it was a tri-lane with the Tusk, if I remember correctly as well. So that lane was extremely difficult to play against. Still, though, I think that the hero does have a spot in the current meta, can be played, but you need to really know what you're doing in that laning stage. It's very important that you do well there.
So do we think they're going to sack DM on the Bounty Hunter and go for maybe a tri-lane with the Lion Enchantress and then +1? GPK could be the one playing the Morph as well. We don't know if it's Nightfall or GPK.
This looks... The only thing is, this isn't IO core, right? With the Monkey King pickup,
it could be Quinn Monkey.
Yeah, it still could be mid lane Monkey exactly.
But you don't know the mid lane matchup, so that
No. So far, Quincy Crew has only played Monkey King at this major once, and it was a Quinn Monkey.
Oh, it was.
I actually wouldn't mind that because one of my favorite partners with the IO, if IO is the core, is Monkey King mid. If you can pull it off. Because you just have a lot of synergy together throughout the mid game. You have this core that benefits greatly from the overcharge that you can tether to, and you can play around that Wukong's command as well.
And GPK does love playing melee meds. And so maybe you got a hard reader like, oh, did you want a Doom? Did you want a Kunkka again? It's too bad. I have Monkey King here now. And so they're banning out the ones that Monkey King would really hate to go up against, a Viper. Razor maybe also worth banning.
Yeah, and the fact that Nightfall seems to be very vocal makes me think that they are looking for a hero for him, though.
Invoker banned out, Viper banned out. These are mostly the mid laners, but like you said, Sheaves, this Morphling as well.
Flex.
Very flexible in the last couple of months. Let's see what they banned out. They banned out the Nature's Prophet, which means that they're expecting an offlaner from Quincy Crew. However, remember, Tusk is played by Lilith very often on that offlane.
And I think that if you're looking for a vessel carrier, this Tusk is going to get it pretty early and make life hard for this Morphling.
And it's not a bad laner overall versus Morphling. It's one of those that with tag team, you can take him down even through the shift. So up until level 3, let's say Morphling is in danger.
Do you want something that, well, on both sides? I kind of feel like the only big team fight we have is the Monkey King, Wukong's command. Do you feel like we need some more team fight? I'm seeing Phoenix still on the pool. It doesn't fit into VP's lineup, of course, but perhaps you could swap it around so Quincy Crew has a little bit of potential there.
So I'm with you that the team, well, apparently their team fight damage is fantastic, but yeah, the team fight is minimal, but that's why Quincy Crew is content only having one big team fight ult, because VP have zero big team fight ults.
Yeah, so they're still one-upping already.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's up to VP. I would like to see, they're missing a lot of things in my opinion. They don't really have a frontliner unless DM goes like pure utility on the bounty hunter. They don't really have an initiator unless Lion gets a blink dagger, which I find to be pretty unlikely. And well, I also don't think that their tower damage is very good right now on VP.
They're really banking on their mid lane, checking a lot of boxes for both of these teams. Yeah. But right now, what both of them do have, both of these teams have a lot of skirmish power in their hands. And they go with the Venomancer. So this should 4 or 3, right?
Leslau,
yeah,
Venom?
Probably.
Most likely, and on top of that, I like it, but I also think that it's going to reveal a lot of times where the sentries are for the bounty. I think that is actually...
You can use the stop key. Tell your wards to shut their mouths. That's what I do.
I don't think you worry about that way too much.
No?
Yeah, and this reveals that IO is probably a core, right? With Monkey mid, Veno offlane.
I like it.
It looks that way. It still could be Tusk offlane.
Yeah, Pelo's on Tusk. So far, they have only lost one game with that one, too.
They had a very similar lineup with Veno and Tusk in the same team. So they played that with, I believe, Veno on 3 and Tusk on 4.
Correct. And that does mean that we're going to have the IO core. The Weaver coming out last for VP, so that Morphling will be for GPK.
So there's like a grand total of like 2,000 HP on this VP draft. unless Morphling attribute shifts. But
extremely squishy. Once that IO does get his items, it will be played by Quinn, by the way. We'll see if he lanes mid or safe.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will let me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
what is the win rate for core IO at this tournament?
I don't think it's 100% anymore, Tsunami.
No, it was a support in that other game.
Are you sure? I think there was one loss, maybe? No?
No. It was a support Weaver. It was a support IO with a Weaver, and the support IO got 1 win.
Okay.
But the core IO has still 0 losses.
0 losses. So, do I even need to ask who you favor in this game?
No. Quincy Crew.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go as well with Quincy Crew with the core IO. Haven't seen it lose yet.
I am very torn because I do like Quincy Crew's draft a whole lot, but at the same time, I feel I gotta believe in VP doing well. They got trashed a little bit yesterday, but they've had a whole day to think about this, to have this plan, and the plan is offlane bounty hunter. Lacoste, ODPixel, what do you think about
this
the
panel
bounty
is kind
hunter?
of biased, you know. They're saying that Core IO did not lose, but you know who else didn't lose? Bounty Hunter, because he was not
There
paid.
you go.
Yeah, this is the first showing of the bounty. Very wonky draft from VP, I would say. We're going to run at you, but everything is single target. I'm a bit worried.
Do you have water at hand, Owen? Because if they're going to run at you, if they're going to run, well, if VP is going to run at Quincy Crew, I think you're going to need to be able to, you know, soothe the throat a little bit here and there.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of action. Yeah, VP, they've decided to fight, and I think Quincy Crew's going to be kind of prepared for them. And yeah, Quincy Crew, they do sort of have the better team fight. They got a Monkey King Wukong's command and a Venomancer, rather than all the single target that VP have. So VP's got to be a little prepared when they come running at Quincy Crew for a fight that might favor Quincy Crew half the time.
Well, I hope they're prepared, and I hope you're prepared as well, because we are going straight into the game.
Thank you very much. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of VP versus Quincy Crew. I'm ODPixel, joined by Lacoste. Lacoste, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing? We're not going to, you know, post any corny jokes, April Fools, or anything. We do not want to troll. We're very serious about our jobs.
Very serious. Chat, I hope you're being serious as well. This is a serious game. VP Quincy Crew playing to stay in the competition here. And as you said, overall, VP's draft, it's a VP draft. If you've got used to watching them back in the CIS region, this is the sort of stuff that they love to run. What do you think about it, seeing them come in with things like the core bounty hunter, things that other teams aren't really doing?
Like, just by looking at these heroes, I feel it's, weak. You see this bounty hunter, no AoE, no team fight. Same goes for Lion, same goes for the Enchantress, Weaver on top of that. All these heroes are very squishy. Like, they also have no defensive abilities other than Enchantress's heal, which is really not that great. One good thing is that Quincy Crew does not have too much lockdown. The only stun they have is Monkey King and Snowball, which might not be enough against these like maneuverable heroes like a Weaver, like a Morphling. There is like no silences at all. So looking at both of these drafts, not something that we've seen so far. Top lane should be a bit hard, I would say. That this lane is very strong for Quincy Crew. You have a lot of slow from the tag team, from the Venomancer. Kingslayer needs to be careful. I don't think they can kill Weaver unless, overextend level 1 Shukuchi 12-second cooldown. Need to be careful. They also don't have any sentry wards yet, so they can't see the Weaver.
I mean, for sure, because it is going to be the thing, right? If GPK is able to get to a certain point, a couple of items in, this morph could definitely take over the game. It's really going to be down to how much Quincy Crew can do when they start moving together as a unit, taking these objectives, and see if they're able to speed up the game to a point where GPK just isn't able to keep up. And so far, obviously, with the lane setup, GPK, he's going to be set up for a good time in the 1v1. Morph versus Monkey King, he's going to be farming perfectly fine against Shawar.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to see how bottom lane does. This has been, like, if it's like core Abaddon paired up with an Io or the other way around, this lane's good. Aloha, also known as Lord of Avernus, a.k.a. Abaddon, Orb of Venom plus Curse. That's a lot of slow, and he's playing into melee off-laners, so every single time he gets close, he wants the trade.
Yeah, really doing a good job of pushing back DM. Making it very tricky for him to sort of trade favorably for himself, the Bounty Hunter, with all of the sustain that Quinn's pumping out over to Loa when Loa goes in and tries to trade with DM. Of course, DM will get a bit of money here and there with the procs of the Janada. But when it comes to CSing and controlling the lane, it's going to be a bit difficult. Loa tries to get the pull, won't be able to do so. So this will end up being quite a nice wave coming in towards DM under his tower. This will catch him back up.
This lineup from Virtus Pro, they're very good at killing people. These are assassin type of the heroes. They have 2 Invis heroes, so Quincy Crew will need to invest a lot of gold in the dust, into sentries, something that, supports don't really like to do. And lane, Yawar playing very aggressive, 2 points in Jingu, but, it's Morphling. It's a Nice Frog's favorite hero. You can't really deal well with him.
Yeah, it's going to take some sort of big mistake from GPK to ever be in a position that Yawar can kill him in the mid matchup. GPK can always play very, very easily with the shift between Strength and Agi. Of course, Yawar just having that 1 stun with the Boundless. Not a very long one at that as well. And as we said, when it comes to rotations from supports and Quincy Crew, it's just, they don't have heroes that are ever going to be able to cause problems for a Morph.
No, Morph in this game should always be able to get the shift off.
Yeah.
So that's kind of problematic. You also don't have enough lockdown. There's no silences for Weaver on top of that. These 2 cores should have a free time in terms of doing whatever. They don't have the real counter in this game.
They're just going to have to sort of get to the point, Quincy Crew, where you look at the sustainability that the Abaddon can pop off with bottom lane, DM and Safe
They're
getting
going
rubbed
on Lion.
down.
Lion's dead. Oh!
Doesn't want to dive it lower. Phonic Shield was on
yeah,
for a little
maybe
bit.
I got too overzealous there. I'm diving.
You would have
that.
dived.
I'm all in.
I think most of us would have dived there. But it's a serious game. They've got to play careful. No risks to be taken.
I know their manager, Jack Shen, a.k.a. K-Baby-Q, Korean Barbecue, he would love to see the dive. I know he's all about those dives.
Oh, yeah, he would be shouting for that one. But Loa and Quinn, they play it careful, keeping themselves focused on getting the CS on Quinn. And so far, Quinn having a fine time farming down on this bottom lane, whilst DM does still continue to struggle a bit, with Loa pushing him back away from the wave each time.
Mana drain from Lion. A very annoying ability, especially against when you play a hero like against the Baron. Curse of Avernus still good. You know, you can still do something without mana.
We'll see top Nightfall. Well, he's going to make a bit of an attempt onto Leslau. And again, you know, VP as well, also being cautious with how aggressive they get underneath the towers. Mid lane, Yuasa's been doing very well. I thought this was maybe a matchup that the Morph would have a bit of an edge, but as it's played out, it's been pretty much even CS completely.
Boloson
not
in
losing
trouble.
anything at all.
Has shards, nicely done.
So the chase on for this Nightfall. Closing the gap with the Shukuchi. Is there anything that can be done to keep Boloson alive? The Geminate attack, not enough.
Oh, the extra armor from the tower, I think that's what kept him alive there. It would be close. Kingslayer trying to make a wraparound between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower to finish him off. Not successful. 0-0 so far.
0-0. It's a passive game. It's a slow opening. Not what you'd expect necessarily from some of these teams, especially VP. Now mid lane Kingslayer. He's going to come over towards Jawar. He's able to dodge a bit of the damage, get off the boundless strike himself. Pops the Fairy Fire. It's not enough to keep him alive. As the help of Kingslayer, GPK is finally able to find that first blood mid. So the game's just going to continue to look very good for the opening of this Morph. You know, anytime you're able to get away with a Morph in the mid lane.
Oh, the mid lane, GPK, like he was in monkey form when he was about to jump from the tree. Morph expired and he was stuck at the tree.
Oh no!
So he had to TP back.
Oh. I did see that. I was like, hang on. He was jumping down and then he suddenly TP into the tower. But
while
you're right.
he was channeling,
yeah.
Morph actually expired.
That's a
I've not seen that ever before.
Yeah, TP down the drain. It's got to be careful for a minute. It should be fine, of course.
If he had no mana, that would be...
If he just stuck on the tree.
Just stuck on the tree. Monkey King leaves him there, does not want to use the Quelling Blade.
Yeah. I thought they changed that when you sort of shift back, that you wouldn't be stuck on the tree, but I guess not. You've got to be careful at the end of your Morph duration. Down bottom, safe. Trying to set up onto Quinn. Oh, that's a hard kill to go for, though. Every time Loa's able to come across, get the Aphotic Shield
Just
out.
TP out. It's that easy. But a lot of pressure from Abaddon and Io on the bottom lane. Io will finish on the Dominator in the 500 gold.
How are we doing on the top lane? Leslau. He's really picking up the pace with the farm. Did have a bit of a slow start. But now at this point, level 6, very hard for VP to get too close to Leslau. Nightfall might have the ability to escape with the Shukuchi, but Leslau's able to get his hands on him. He's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Still yet to be able to pick up an earn charge, of course, with the fact that they've still got no kills yet. Still 0-1 at 8 minutes in. Mid lane, GPK. Getting gone on by Yawar. Lower, was waiting maybe to see if GPK would have been baited to get a bit more aggressive, but GPK plays it safe. Save. It's going to be run down. Lower. It's got a haste rune going. They've got the 3 of them here. They'll find Save deep on their half of the map. With the tag team, they'll have the control and damage to take Save down as Yawar claims the kill.
And this should be rewarded. They don't have any sentry wards, but they know something is up. There's no reason for Lion to be there in that part of the jungle. Leslau going for the Spirit Vessel, a lot of value in this game. Yeah. Against Morphling, of course, some heals coming out later on from the Nature's Attendants.
Absolutely. And yeah, he's going to get it at a very good time as well. It's bottom lane. TM. And Kingslayer trying to set up for the return of Quinn. Save coming in as well. I look towards Lower. Can they burst him down in time? Stick charges popped. Lower's into the trees. He's been tracked, but they can't quite reach him. And DM's got to back off, getting low. GPK's moved over from the mid lane. He may see if there's an opportunity to dive in on this. Track out on Quinn. Lower will soon be able to remove that with the shield. Even with GPK coming over and having the 4 of them here, it's not quite a kill that they can dive for. We'll see if they want to try and get some pressure onto the tower. Push it in a bit lower. Should hit 6 off the next wave coming through.
I want to see Quinn picking up the Satyr that can purge things off. Just purge off that track. A lot of value. He just needs to find it. Well, there it is. Let's see if he decides to go for the little one.
He's gonna just stick with the big one. Have that extra bit of regen and potential nuke if there's going to be any battles brought his way. It's VP, they'll have the space to take the top tower. Quinn turning towards the jungle. Loa's got no business trying to hold them off on his own. VP able to force the objective.
The reason why we see 2 kills 10 minutes in is there are no stuns in this game. It's very hard to just go in and do stuff. No one has that type of a hero that, except Tusk, possibly, you know, with the snowball, with the good shard block. Save still level 4. Courier's flying. Let's see. Yeah, he's the one buying the tome. That's not going to get him to level 6. Still needs a bit more experience.
In a game with this sort of slow start, both teams having cores that will benefit from this transitioning into a farming phase. You are on the mid lane. He's going to go for the Maelstrom. Was thinking about the Battle Fury. Did have that queued up earlier.
He had Maelstrom into Battle Fury, back into Maelstrom.
Maelstrom into Battle Fury, back into Midas, I believe would be the correct build, but we'll see. As he has in the past been, of course, a fan of the heavy farming items. So a little surprised that he actually swaps from the Battle Fury back to the Maelstrom, but that will, of course, give them great potential in the fights if they're able to bring him to GPK before he's ready. Up top, Paulson.
There it is, a kill.
2-1.
And it also was a track kill. Venomancer with the Spirit Vessel done. They need to get the charge on it so they can try go and kill the Morph. GPK going for straight into Ethereal Blade.
I'm a big fan of the E-Blade Rush. It's going to give potential for a lot of kills. They're going to be able to make good work of utilizing that track from DM. Obviously having heroes such as the Lion with such fantastic magical burst. The E-Blade setup is going to be pretty deadly, even for some of the heroes that may be able to build up their HP a bit. Of course, Quinn working on the Ags. Once he's got the Ogre Club and the Point Booster, he's going to have quite a bit of HP. And an E-Blade combo will be able to threaten him.
Now I'm taking my stick. I'm just trying to poke them, do something. 3 kills, 12 minutes.
Yeah, everyone sit back and relax.
Just play for the late game, lol.
Yeah. That's what we're going for here. We do have a smoke coming out from Quincy Crew, Paulson, and Jawar. I'll be surprised if they do try and force something, as Jawar's very close towards the Maelstrom. They'll go for DM, though. DM, he's come over to their half of the map, and they'll be able to punish this. DM trying to make the moves around. He's got a bit of resistance with the hood, but obviously with Paulson and Jawar, you know, they've got physical. You know, they're still going to be able to burst through him. And Jawar, off the back of that kill, does now have the Maelstrom. So the moves of the Monkey King are going to be pretty potent if VP aren't prepared for them.
They're trying to make a move on the top tower. They're not killing heroes, but they might kill the towers with the Venomancer and with the Curse of Avernus. Glyph from Virtus Pro. Like, both of these teams don't have sick amount of tower damage. The best they have is Venomancer at this point, just using the Plague Wards. On the other side, it's, you know, Morphling, but you don't want to siege that way. First, you want to take a fight.
So Quinn, about 2,000 gold away from the Ags. Yeah, GPK just about 1,000 off the E-Blade. So trying to get his hood done. DM, now after his own hood, actually going hood straight into BKB. So DM just trying to tank up completely. So it could be that sort of presence on the front line, getting there, aggressively scout things out and set up the fight for some of the more agile heroes like the Weaver and the Morph to know exactly where they can enter without being threatened by the very limited already lockdown of Quincy Crew.
Yeah, both teams kind of limited in the lockdown department. Also, one good thing they have is a Photic Shield against the track. So that's going to be his job, remove those, especially when someone is trying to survive, pop it on him, remove the track, even if he dies. No, it's still okay. If you've been to the bathroom, if you tried to get some water, some snacks, you didn't miss anything in the last couple of minutes. It's just been a farm fest so far.
It really has. Definitely one of the slowest starts we've had here. 2 for 2. 14 minutes in. I mean, what do you reckon, Lucas? Where are we going to see the next kill? Who's going to go down? You got to call it.
This is going to be a ballsy call from me. You know, I'm going to say that we're going to see another kill in the next 5 minutes.
That's a pretty safe call, Lucas, but we'll take it. I want to say
considering how this game is going.
There's not been that many. Maybe it's not that safe. You know, 5 minutes. I don't know if we are going to see something in the next 5 minutes. maybe top. Save.
They're setting things up.
Let's see. Quinn's tanky. They have the burst. He's got a lot of sustain, and
He's too
Quinn's going to be
speedy.
fine. Save. He's going to be the one to go down. Polisson able to get over, turn things around. I mean, already showing, you know, if you want to go on this IO, you've got to bring a lot of force, as Quinn's not an easy target.
Especially once he gets the Aghanim Scepter, like it's going to be very hard for him to kill. They don't also have the best abilities to set up a relocate play. It's all about the Tusk. Like, Tusk is their playmaker. He's been involved in 100% of their kills, 3 out of 3. One thing they can do is possibly get the Roche early on, like with the tag team, with the Curse of Avernus. Like, they have enough damage. Like, all they need is, like, one fight near the Roche pit, possibly on a mid lane. E-Blade done on Morph.
All right, we're going to look out for that burst. See if they want to try and set something up. Safe does have a smoke, and also the Finger of Death good to go. So if these two smoke up, and they're going to do it with the whole team. Safe can find the opening. GPK can lead him with the E-Blade into Finger. They'll burst most of the targets on Quincy Crew. See how they can start things. DM heading in, Safe, able to line up the stun onto the two of them. GPK can't quite zip in close enough, and now the Wukong's command is down. Quincy Crew just turn, and DM and Safe, they just get obliterated on the front lines. Now VP's got to run. GPK, he's off to the side, will turn with the stun. Polisson trying to chase, using the E-Blade to defensively save himself. He's out for the TP, but the snowball's back up. GPK, he's going to die as well. A disastrous move there from VP.
Problem is they have no stuns. Like, the only stun they have, it was a good impale, you know, on 2 heroes, but there is no real follow-up. You're also playing into a Baron. They try to burst him. He pops the borrowed time, and suddenly the team fight is just over.
And this is, you know, the strength of Quincy Crew's lineup. It isn't the ability to hunt and start off action. It's the ability to turn around those sort of plays. And I guess, you know, against VP, they know that VP, especially with the C-Blade rush and the Morph, that they are going to be proactive, looking for action like this. Quincy Crew's heroes are very good at just sort of saying no and turning things around when VP come running at them.
They have so many saves. Like, even if you think about Boundless Strike, it's still like a decent save. They go on and they need to be grouped around with their heroes. They have a Snowball, they have a Photic Shield, Io's healed. So Quincy Crew, they feel pretty safe, you know, just taking it slow, getting their items. It's on Virtus Pro to make a move.
Oh, it really is. Well, we'll see what VP's plan is now. Maybe just back to farming. They're trying to get the BKB online for GPK, but it's going to take a lot of time. Top lane, they're in onto Nightfall. Nightfall will manage to time lapse in time. It's close, though. Nearly gets burst just by the two of them, Yuar and Polisson.
This is not a good sign, you know. You see your Lion 18 minutes in, no stacks on the Finger. You're like,
bad.
It feels bad, man moment. Same goes for Legion Commander. Like, you see Legion without a damage. You're like, things are not going as we kind of expected. Straight into Roche pit, like, they have enough damage. Tusk, one of the better heroes in the game to be, like, taking Roche, one of the reasons why he's so popular, and of course, all his abilities. Dire, using a scan, they know something is up, but they can't react to this, it's just too quick.
And as you said at the start, one of the issues with VP's lineup is they don't do team fight, right? If they're coming when there's 5 heroes, they're not going to have a great time. When there's 1 hero, they'll have a perfectly fine time. As Polisson TP's down bottom on his own, they're able to focus and delete the target. Quincy Crew, space is made, Roshan is theirs, Aegis onto Quinn. Quincy Crew continuing to hold the lead. 3K ahead, 6-3, 19 minutes in.
Quinn, of course, gets the Aegis because the name of the team is Quincy Crew. It's not called Yawar's Crew.
Well, you're not wrong. And Quinn, I mean, BKB, he's making great progress, of course, with this Axe running. He's having no trouble cleaning out the jungle. Once he has that, he's just not going to die. Quinn is going to be pretty much invincible with the BKB. It's not at the point of the game where it's more for Weavers really going to be in a position where they can actually sit there and right-click at him. Even when they do, they're not going to have insane right-click damage at this moment in the game.
They are trying to burst a Baron 2 times in a row. It's doable, but, you know, Loa, he is an experienced player. He's ready with that R button if he sees shotgun moving towards him.
Trying to bait some action with Quinn, pushing down the mid. But unlikely VP are going to decide to try and make moves onto this. And Io with an Aegis. It's not a target you want to try and take. It's Quinn is able to walk over, take away some of the Ancients of VP.
When the teams read the rules of the tournament, you know, about social distancing, that means in real life. It doesn't mean you can't get close in Dota. Because 9 kills, 20 minutes in, this must be the lowest number of kills we had in the game.
I mean, you're right, he's done. He's popping the BKB to kill someone. He's like, I just want some action. And he'll get it. As he just BKBs and beats the heck out of Save. And Quincy Crew, you know, they're definitely feeling the need for fighting a little more than VP is. VP just continuing to farm. It didn't go great that first move they tried to make with the E-Blade Rush on GPK, so I guess they just really feel we've got to get that next item done on the Morph before we try for something.
Yeah, pop that BKB, get a kill. They found Yawar. He's a bit too tanky, but yeah, does not have a TP. Nightfall,
he's got to be careful.
time lapse is available, but this gives him enough time to get out of the trouble. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Kingslayer getting caught.
Straight in they go on the Enchantress.
You know, if that's a level 2 ulti on Enchantress, it looks so funny. Whenever Tusk tries to Walrus Punch.
It's sort of like a delayed thing. Well, another tower's taken. VP still chilling. You know, maybe it's like if we don't look at the tower, we didn't lose it. You know, it's one of those sort of situations.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those situations where you're like, yeah, we have one less tower to defend.
No, ever sort of the optimist.
Gotta stay positive, yeah.
Bollison. He's going to be able to get the shots down. DM, he's got to go the other way round, and he's not going to be able to do so. Leslau, Polisson, Yawar, they're here, and DM's gone. I think, you know, Quincy Crew, I think Quinn in particular, he's feeling really
fun.
chill.
Like, he's like, you know,
this is
I
great.
don't care. I've played you know, I've seen people play this hero in the late game. It's one of those moments when you realize you feel very confident just going into the late game with Io.
Quinn's just, he's probably got the tunes on. He's, you know, he's just pure vibing right now in the Io. He's farming away, all the space in the world. It's been a while since he's seen another hero. Vitality boost has picked up. He's on the way to the heart. And with every passing second, you know, Quincy Crew, they're just increasing the lead. And they're taking down the towers, they're taking down the objectives. VP, they've only been able to take the one tier 1 tower bot so far.
And that's it. And they're waiting for this BKB morph, because they have no abilities other than like Tusk, Walrus Punch, and he needs to have something against the Spirit Vessel, because there are 3 charges already on the Venomancer. He's also going into the Aghanim Scepter. A lot of overtime damage.
But this is, it's definitely got to feel a bit awkward for some of VP's heroes. I mean, you have especially when you have like an off-lane bounty, and as you said, you have a Lion. These 2 heroes, they want to be killing something. They want to be getting involved in action, and they're not finding it.
I thought you were gonna say awkward for viewers, you know, watching, watching this no action, but it's
no action.
Like I can understand it from Quincy's point of view. Like they want.
Quincy's fine with this.
Yeah, they're pretty fine with what's happening right now. They're gonna go on the high ground, no response whatsoever. This is something that we've seen, like position 5 Abaddon, tethered with Io, actually going for the towers. You know, he's the one sieging, because potentially they could blow him up with the Lion, with the E-Blade, but pretty sure, you know, he's ready with that R button.
VP continuing to avoid any sort of altercation. They're ready to fight, you'd imagine, on GPK, and they are smoked.
Dire under the scan, full duration, so they know where Quincy Crew is.
The relaxation continues. You know, just a nice little bit of relaxing Dota, I guess, to sort of break down the day. We've had some exciting matches, some crazy matches. This one definitely a bit more of a peaceful one from the 2 teams.
Yeah, we can turn this into golf casting easily.
Golf. Did you watch a lot of golf?
Yeah, I'm a professional golf watcher. What do you think? I don't have enough money to watch golf, dude.
Oh, is it expensive?
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's one of those sports.
Not just to play, it's expensive to watch as well.
It's expensive to talk about as well. Already running
Yeah,
into
this
debt.
cost me like $200
Yep.
just by mentioning it. So Io getting closer to the heart. That's gonna... You know, they don't have enough burst damage for Io, especially with the BKB.
Oh, here
He's
we go.
alone. Well, we'll see about that one.
Let's see what they can do. Quinn, he's off to the side. He's going to live. GPK not able to quite commit enough to get the kill. Quinn's fine. He's out of there. Quick step back to base to get the heals up.
But
gonna be
he's
back on the map.
isolated, okay-ish. I thought, you know, when he's sitting next to a Abaddon also going for drums to speed things up, which I really like. They don't necessarily need to go for the high ground. They have this siege creep unit, but they can poke. They can go in, try to see what's going to happen.
There we go. Oh, that's a lovely 3-man stun. But into what? See what they got? Quinn gets a little low. Borrowed time will be forced out of lower.
They have no BKB on Quinn. They have no ulti on Abaddon. They should just fall back, reset, possibly farm that heart. As I said, they do not want to fully commit, but they've dealt almost 1,000 damage to the Tier 3 tower. Next Roshan may respawn in 20 seconds. No need to rush things.
No, definitely no need to rush things. Yeah, that's definitely sort of the feelings from these teams. Quincy Crew, less so, as you said, you know, Quincy Crew's definitely, they're playing this game to win. I feel like they're just doing everything.
Yeah, what is VIRTUS Pro playing for?
Well, I mean, they obviously are as well, but it's just, I don't know what the plan's going to be from VIRTUS Pro. It's just been it seems like we're just constantly in a state of the game where VP don't feel that they're ready to try and make any moves. They're obviously set on farming on up their cores. And, you know, they're getting a lot of farm. Nightfall, very close to having the Skadi. That's going to do, you know, a whole lot against heroes like the Io that do rely on that regeneration. So maybe once the Skadi's done on Nightfall, also going for the Skadi on Morph as well. Of course, both heroes, fantastic.
Yeah, just stack those Skadis.
But
no, it's a good item.
It's both heroes kind of want one
For sure.
But it's
like
just
they want the stats, they want the slow, great against Io, great against the Abaddon, healing coming out from the Monkey King. Like this item is just too good. The next Roche will respawn in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
VIRTUS Pro, they don't know that, so they're trying to make a wraparound with the smoke.
It's just overall the difference is you can see that 6K lead for Quincy Crew. A lot of it just down to the fact that
Yeah, they know. Save just showed on a mid lane using Earth Spike, so they just swapped. They did the switcheroo. Quincy Crew playing Dire.
Yeah, they said, well, we'll see if we get some action going from this side.
Yeah, VIRTUS passive playing Radiant. They're on the side.
Oh, up to the high
I've
ground.
not seen anything like this recently. Definitely did not.
I've not seen anything.
Glyph already popped. They're going to go in and take the tower.
The tower's gone. They're going to have to defend. Let's see what they've got. Trying to focus Yawar. I mean, Yawar's fine. Quinn, is that the full heart is done. So here we've got a 3,500 HP IO here. Range Rax is taken down. VP yet to make a move on to Quincy Crew here at the top push. Quincy Crew will back up. They know that VP's all here. Oh, but destruction, that's a nice one.
I'm just pretending I'm part of the game. You know, I'm not saying anything. I'm like zoning in.
Zoning in.
Weaver, Skadi done. Plus Enchanted Quiver. That's a lot of damage coming out from Weaver. He's super farmed. You know, that's going to be a bit problematic. They don't have enough to actually bring him from 100 to 0. So Weaver will be able to get the time lapse off for sure. They have 2 stuns. That's it.
I mean, back up to the top lane. I think same for Quincy Crew. The wave's still pushing in.
Like, this is the easiest job for Scriff ever. Like, he can't miss any kills because there are none.
Hey, here we go. VP's going for some action, some objective. They're going for Roche. See if they can do it. They're doing it quick. Quinn's heading over, though. Quincy Crew, they don't want to let VP get this. See if VP want to try and take the fight.
They're dewarding.
It's Quincy Crew there into the pit, and now VP, can VP push Quincy Crew away for this? I don't know if they can. The team fight is much stronger for Quincy Crew. They've got Wukong's command.
There
They'll
it
lay
is,
it
they
down.
pop it.
And with that up, I mean, is GPK going to try for a move? He's not going to be able to do so in time.
Quinn
As
gets
Roche's
it.
been taken, the Aegis has been picked up by Quinn. Nightfall's trying to take down Leslo towards the side. He hasn't got enough damage, and Nightfall goes down. Save's gone in. He is able to steal the cheese, but that's it. He loses his life. He's dead as well. 2 kills for Quincy Crew.
They got the cheese,
He got
at least.
the cheese. So, you know, at least they'll have something to do whilst they're chilling this game. Bit
Hope
cheese.
it's a big cheese, you know.
Yeah, but,
Everyone gets a slice.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
Why does everyone always ask that? Like blue cheese, that's my favorite cheese.
You like the blue cheese?
Yeah, what about you?
We're getting blue someone else this game. There's the push down mid. Quincy Crew, they're ready to go for another Rax. VP, there's 2 dead. I mean, this Rax is gone. And
This might be
the
it.
creeps are taking the top Rax. There's nobody defending against the creeps.
What is going on,
What
Owen?
I don't know. It's a strange game that cost this one.
Strange
as,
game indeed. Now they're gonna go in and just try to get the mega creeps.
Yeah,
Lion is
why
missing,
not?
it's being pinged out. Lion has a blink dagger, so they need to be a bit careful. There's always gonna be shield from a Baton. Monkey with the axe.
Here we go, Save. He's going to jump in with the stun. He's dead immediately. DM's trying to lead him with a BKB over towards Leslie. There'll be a buyback from Save. Trying to hit into Quinn, but Quinn at this stage, he's just far too tanky. They can't do anything about the IO. Kingslayer's trying to run. It's a double kill for Yawar. Another
Morph is
buyback's
in,
come out.
finger.
They blow everything onto Yawar. They can't quite kill him. He's still alive. He's been kept up by
Oh,
the
the
Hills.
shuriken
Finally,
actually
he
kills
goes
him.
down. He's out for 80. GPK getting focused by Loa and Leslau. Over to the side. Nightfall has managed to come and take Paulison down low. Paulison will fall. Quinn still alive. Loa gets back in. He's got the borrowed time up. Nightfall pots the cheese. Oh, he nearly gets silenced. Will manage to get out
Good
before the
stun.
last hit comes in from Loa. Hex coming out from Save.
But the Quinn is untouched. They're not dealing any damage to him. If Quincy Crew can fall back,
I mean, they defend here. VP are able to push them back. Cost them 3 buybacks. But they will manage to stop Quincy Crew from getting the megas at the moment.
once Monkey King is out, they should go in and just take another fight. They know they just used the 3 buybacks. Monkey King, it was a good play there from DM. You know, Monkey was tracked, and he uses the Shuriken on a Baton. The Shuriken bounces because he was not close to use it on Monkey. The damage actually takes him down. A bit limited on the damage. Like, if they use E-Blade plus a finger, they can try to burst people down. But they might have only one more fight. Quinn, picking up the double damage. Now, he just feels way too tanky. 2 minutes left on that Aegis.
A 16k lead for Quincy Crew. 2 sets of racks taken away.
And the tier 3 tower.
Yeah. I mean, if VP can turn this around, this is going to be some crazy big brain stuff. Because at the moment, it's not looking great for them. This has not been a solid showing from them here. As Quincy Crew just completely in charge this whole game. Getting to play their game of Dota perfectly. As DM is going to get gone on first here. Polisson getting low. Yuar's able to get the Wukong's command down. GPK zips it. He gets taken out immediately. GPK's gone. Nightfall getting bashed. He's dead as well. The 2 cores down. They do have buybacks, but Yuar's just chasing him into the base. It's a triple kill for him. Hex out upon him.
No
Quinn's in
BKB.
with the tether. Turns over towards Save. Save gets taken out. Yuar getting low.
They
He's
need
trying to
to
stand
heal
in the
him.
bash on the GPK in the balance, but Yuar will fall. He's down. Hex over to Nightfall. Nightfall able to pop the time-lapse and escape. It's just the 3 of VP left alive. They may have killed Jawar, but the rest of Quincy Crew, they're prepared to keep on pushing. They'll force out the fortification from VP.
That's the glyph. 50 seconds left on Aegis. They're still pushing Quinn. They have enough damage to take these barracks. Loa sitting in the back. Punch.
Get the jump in, DM. He's gone. That's him down for 80. No buyback on the Bounty Hunter. Quincy Crew will have no trouble taking the bottom racks, and it is over. It's been over for a while. GG is finally called as Quincy Crew. I mean, this game was kind of the definition of a walk in the park for them.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
The late game, they understood, Monkey King and the IO, getting all the farm, getting 2 Roshans. Like, we can take this easily.
Yeah, I mean, it really did seem that from the way this played out, that Quincy Crew had managed to get themselves a draft that the VP just never felt confident fighting into. And Quincy Crew just played it impeccably. VP, huge struggles from them throughout the game to get much done at all. That first move with the early E-Blade just ended terribly around that mid lane. And it seemed like after that point onwards, they were just sort of shaken up to the stage where they never felt able to try and do anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was just like no real moves. They tried to make a smoke from the backlines, go inside the pit, but Quincy Crew read that really well.
Yeah, top stuff from Quincy Crew as they make this one look pretty easy here in game 1 as they'll take the victory against VP.
Now, normally, when there is a game that is quite slow at the beginning, normally we get rewarded for the early part. We get rewarded at the end by big blowout team fights. It just didn't happen here with Lizard, Tsunami, Quincy Crew. You heard the casters. I fully agree. It felt like they had it very
pleasant
easy.
walk in the park.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it from the draft.
I could have had a pleasant walk in the park.
You could have. You only have to deal with 1 team fight ultimate. You were questioning it in the draft. You were like, I only see Wukong's command. That's like the only thing. And then the Quincy Crew were like, okay, we'll put a Venomancer on top of it as well. We'll have 2 team fight ultimates. And VP were like, great. We got 5 heroes who love to fight. How do we fight?
Yep.
When do we fight?
They didn't have a general idea, it looks, how to play out their draft. Or if they did, something was missing. Perhaps some stunts, some catch. That's definitely something that they were lacking because 12 minutes in, we had like 4 kills. It was... and you were playing with the Bounty Hunter. There's a reason why you pick this hero. If you pick it, you want to fight early on. You want to be making aggressive movements. Hell, you even have Weaver as a carry and Enchantress position 5. All these heroes do like to brawl it all out in the mid game and the early game, but they didn't do anything like that. They kind of waited out for E-Blade on Morphling, but by that time, Wisp is already too strong. There's a reason this hero is banned out every single game almost.
Yeah. I saw a fair amount of unfamiliarity. I don't think Quinn was entirely comfortable on the IO, and it's a testament to how good the hero is in a core position when he probably just started practicing it like a week ago or so.
And to be honest, at this point, he could have played any hero. Let's be real, like, why? Like, could he have played any hero? It felt like he could have.
I'm not sure because this IO is deceivingly strong. These balls are just hitting you, you're dying.
And the sustain. I don't think like you would need 20 urns if you wanted to stay at the enemy racks for this long as the Radiant team.
And the build is pretty straightforward. You buy that Dominator into Ags, into BKB and Heart, and you're unkillable, more or less. You could see a couple of times he would be tethering his creep instead of, let's say, Monkey King.
Yeah,
because of that, Monkey dies.
The ball placement was also like kind of suspect during some of the mid game, but it's quite easy to do. And I'm glad that Quincy Crew whipped it out here because we were also wondering, like, oh, okay, do either of these teams know how to play Core IO? VP didn't ban it. Quincy Crew's like, all right, we'll give it a shot. It's a best of 3 series. Worst case scenario, we'll win the next 2 games.
And it's very peculiar that you know that you can't play IO and you're gambling on the fact that Quincy Crew can do the same. So they let it go through and this happens. But still, I expected them to becoming a little bit more or well prepared for the IO possibility, which did happen. And
I mean, I just wanted them to be well prepared for their own draft. Well, what was their own draft supposed to be?
Okay, so they had one time where they set up in the mid lane. They smoked around.
We won with Core IO.
So they had one time where they set up in the mid lane, and I thought, okay, this is where their ganking strat, their draft is gonna work out. Yawar was ready for them. Yep. Like, he smacked that attempt down hard, and ever since, nothing. There was no signs of life. And okay, so let's imagine this game they would have held high ground. You know, somewhere miraculously they were able to do it. Was there late game potential, like late game potential of their lineup versus the IO core lineup, is that even stronger? Would that be considered better with the Morph Weaver?
I mean, you have Morph and Weaver. Because of that, you have very strong dual core, which does match up pretty well against them later on in the game. And if you follow the Chinese, the way they draft, if they do pick the IO on position 1, mostly they ban out the Morphling.
Yeah.
And you could also see the reason why, because he gets that T-Blade, he almost eliminates you at the beginning of a fight. However, almost isn't enough when he gets that hard, because he just heals up in 5 seconds.
Close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades, and I don't really think that... I think that Quincy has basically bought themselves a free ban now in the first phase, because I don't think that they were... I can't read too much into Quinn's expression, but it felt like, whoa, we just won that game 1, and I don't really know if we were supposed to win that game 1.
I also think that they didn't maybe just win themselves a free ban. At this rate, I'm very worried for VP's mental state. Like, I think they might have just won themselves a free series. Like VP, they bombed out yesterday. PSG is a super strong team, right? So we were saying, okay, you know, maybe it's just VP not being as strong as PSG because PSG is just that good. VP is not proving to be having what it takes to make a deep run here at all, and it's worrying.
Yeah, I just hope that they banned the IO and not let it go through, because you could see a couple of times the IO plays weren't perfect. He didn't even die, but still, some plays could have been done more, like ball management and whatnot.
Yeah.
However, if you do let it go through, you will not have a fun game too. This hero is way too strong at the moment.
Was the ball management good enough to reward Quinn the MVP?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. Who is the MVP then?
Can't you give him MVP for this?
Yeah, Wars Monkey King, we don't see him play mid that often.
He played really well.
He played really well in the mid lane. Him going against that Morphling, I think, if Morphling was able to snowball out of control, that game could have gone differently. So yeah, give it to you, War.
And him slapping the thing down.
Sure, yeah, that was
stopping the gank, like hitting down 3 heroes.
Could have been the linchpin for
100%. Stopped the only aggressive movement that Virtus Pro actually attempted, so that's something. But yeah, Alelis also had a very good game on Venomancer. You sometimes see Venoms just fall off super hard after the laning
stage. Especially the last pick, Venomancers.
And he did it extremely well. He went for a cool item build as well. You don't really see very often that Aghanims be built later on too, so yeah, cool.
Very, very cool. I know something else that's very cool, and I know that Tsunami would love to talk about it.
No, I love discussing